Never felt more like singing the blues. City win, United lose. Oh, City. You got me singing the blues. One banana, two banana, three banana, four. What's that? What's that new one as well? Old Trafford is falling down. Ten Hag's a clown. Glazers spend saying 10 more years. Man City are on the boost. Oh, I love it. I love it. Welcome back to another video. This is 5 things that we learned from Man City's impressive 3-0 drubbing of Manchester United. Of course, you've already seen a preview of the first one right there. But I want to firstly talk about just what that means. Of course, it always means loads to win on a derby day. It absolutely does, man. It really does. I can't stand Man United. I never have been able to. Of course, lifelong Man City fan, living in Manchester. It was difficult when I was growing up. I can't deny that. But days like yesterday, man. Days like yesterday. Seeing City put United to the sword just so effortlessly. Seeing the absolute chasm of quality between these two clubs. Seeing how much they spend and they can't get anywhere near us. Genuinely. Just ridiculous. Like watching City stroll about that pitch as if they owned it at times at Old Trafford. It makes my heart absolutely sore. It really does. Genuinely a lovely day of football. Manchester is unequivocally blue and has been for over a decade now. It's been an awful long time since United were on top in this city. And I got a feeling it's going to last even longer because they aren't even close to our level. They really aren't. And I want them to remember that. I want them to know that because this City side is monstrous. And this City side once again showed who the big boys were in this city. Well, if they're even in the city in the first place. We'll call them the Salford Reds. But either way, our neighbours, you know what I mean? Our neighbours, they were quite noisy at one point, but we're the noisy neighbours and we own this place. And I love it. I absolutely love it. A wonderful thing to talk about in yesterday's game. I mean, there's loads I can talk about. Absolutely loads, of course. If you want to see some top-class betting, catch my match reaction from yesterday. YouTube was being weird yesterday. I'm not really sharing live videos for whatever reason. But that video is still up on the channel where you can see me go on about how much I hate United and waffle away about all the players. But this, of course, is just 5 things that I learned. And it was really hard. Genuinely really hard just to choose 5 things. It just was. It was difficult because this City side were remarkably good. After what was probably a slow half an hour, we got going, and then we were by far the better team. So all I say, please do like this video. Like it right now. 60 people watching. Let's get the likes up during this video right now. And of course, subscribe if you are new to this channel, you fellow wonderful Blues. I'm going to start, of course, with here. Bernardo is truly special. Guardiola was absolutely glowing with his praise at full time yesterday. He said he could speak for 10 minutes about what Bernardo Silva means to this Manchester City side. He said he loves the fact that he's basically low maintenance, nothing flashy about him, no expensive clothes or cars or whatever. Just an incredibly likable, incredibly successful, incredibly brilliant member of this Manchester City side. He's Guardiola's perfect pupil, basically. And Guardiola said he's one of the most best players he's ever seen in his life. And he's actually right, to be honest. He really is. Bernardo is a true genius. He's a footballing genius. His game understanding and his intelligence is top tier stuff. And I like the quote from Piff in the chat as well. It says David Silva on steroids at point. Absolutely, man. You got David Silva's game understanding and majestic ability to glide around the pitch, making it look easy. But then you add that Fernandinho-esque terrier side to his game as well. And you get this perfect, brilliantly balanced footballer, a truly world-class footballer. One that could have left this summer. What is the rest of the world doing, by the way? Someone could have got Bernardo for 60, 70 million probably for the last 2 or 3 years, and no one came in for him. Are you idiots? Are you idiots? Bernardo, look at how good he is. And Bernardo, if you're somehow watching this, mate, just stay. At this point, just stay. Have your best years here. We'll get him to, excuse me, we'll get him to build a statue, probably outside Old Trafford, because you do own that place, let's be honest. It's your training ground. Just stay, though. Enjoy it. Become a Manchester City legend. Well, you already are, but become a true icon of this club. Stay here for your best years and go back to your home club in Portugal when you're done, man. Absolutely love it. Bernardo Silva, a truly wonderful footballer. And yesterday, honestly, the way that he was gliding around that pitch, linking up with Jack Grealish, and just the somehow Like, I've always said that, by the way. He does remind me of, like, David Silva mixed with Kante. It's a ridiculous combination, but absolutely. I think his best position is always in the midfield. He's great on the right, but I do think his best position is centrally because it's just his understanding and his ability to be effective at any point in the pitch is better when he's playing central, in my personal opinion. And I think he really linked up with Grealish well, by the way, because I think Grealish having someone to overlap him really made a difference. And of course, we saw that with the assist for Haaland's second goal. Time and time again, he did the overlapping run, almost as a left winger run. But David Silva was also an expert of that as well. He really was. That wonderful sort of like half space just inside the area. David Silva was a master of it, and as is Bernardo Silva right now. Bernardo Silva, an absolute legend for Manchester City. What a player. I also want to talk about this man, Rolls-Royce Josko. Actually, I think it's fair to say for the first 15 minutes, Gvardiol didn't have a good game. He didn't. He was sloppy with a couple of passes here and there. He looked a little bit hesitant. That's fine. I don't mind people making mistakes as long as they improve. I mean, it's all we can have. Ras. Everyone makes mistakes. I make mistakes. You make mistakes. Pep Guardiola makes mistakes. Everyone makes mistakes. It is normal. It's how you react to them that shows the quality or the signs of an elite level footballer. And Rolls-Royce Josko here, man, the definition of quality, the elegance to his game. How have we got to a point where we've got all these 6 foot plus complete footballers who can play everywhere? It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. We've got Gvardiol stepping into the field. Stones can do it. Rodri. Like, we've got all these like absolute man mountains who are just technically brilliant footballers. And like Josko, I think it's fair to say he came in with a lot of expectation, signed for 70-odd million, pushing 80 million. And I always said that, unfortunately for Ake, he will be an improvement on Ake. And I love Nathan Ake. Probably still, but probably the best pure defender we got, maybe alongside Diaz. But Rolls-Royce Josko, I mean, Gvardiol is an excellent defender. But we saw yesterday, and I watched the compilation back this morning, we saw yesterday just how comfortable he is on the ball. When he got going, there was one particular occasion where he just stepped past the United defender, burst down the left, 3 of them came around him, so he just quickly shimmied back, past one, and played a nice little simple ball through the middle. Lovely stuff. Took 3 players out the game. He did it 2 or 3 times where he just stepped past the defender and went into midfield. Absolutely wonderful stuff. Creates so much space for us when passing players and play beautiful first-time passes into the midfield. Gvardiol is he's just an absolute behemoth of a player already, and he is still only 21 years old. He'll be 21 years old for a couple of months too as well. He's brilliant. He's brilliant. He's going to get better as well. A genuinely remarkable player, and he's going to be at the top of the game for a best part of a decade, hopefully at Manchester City Football Club. This isn't something I'm going to talk about, but I want to say thank you to Bastian Hausman for the super chat. It says, Rodri, best in the world. Keep up the great content. Thank you so much, my friend. The super chats do help the content keep going. I know it sounds like a beg, but it's just genuinely true. So thank you. The Bastian, that support does mean a lot because, I ain't a rich person, so the super chats and the support and the likes and subscribes, it does massively help, so thank you very much. But Rodri, yeah, best in the world. I'm not even talking about Rodri in this video today, other than this super chat right here. That's a good way to make it 6 things learned, or 7 things learned, by the way. Just simply do a super chat, and I'll talk about that as well. But yeah, remarkable yesterday, alongside, John Stones and everyone. And thank you so much, mate. And hello to everyone in the chat, by the way. RGS, Perth, Daniel, Nerlan, William, Brian, my man Nathan, absolute legend. We are wonderful, mate. We are wonderful. Nathan, thank you so much for asking. Next thing I want to talk about is Stones. Let me just try and find this graphic. I found this graphic from Manchester City yesterday, this morning even. And let me just see if I can get it up on screen. But it was just stupid. There was this this ridiculous graphic from Man City showing just how good he is, John Stones. It really is remarkable. It really is remarkable stuff. I'll go over to it right now. This is John Stones from yesterday. That's his touch map from yesterday from John Stones. Look at that, man. That is just stupid. It's just absolutely stupid. Do you understand how good that is? Hence why I put Stones equals total football. He just is right now. That is a centre-back. That is a centre-back. Doing wonderful things. He's played everywhere there, man. The guy was at left wing at one point. He was at number 9 at one point. Left back, right back, DM, left centre back, right midfield, number 8. Look at that. John Stones is just stupid. That is what we're looking at right now. That's what we're looking at. Like he's become more than just a centre back. He's got this like libero Franz Beckenbauer thing going on where he just steps into midfield. Honestly, it's ridiculous. Like this is a complete footballer. Like I don't know. Like who has ever existed in the modern game playing like John Stones right now? I know that sounds like superlatives, but I honestly mean it. Like who else exists like John Stones right now? I don't know anyone who plays this game. The way that he starts as nominally a centre-back and then just sort of is this complete perfect midfielder, but still is in the centre-back position when you need him. Like that, to have the presence of mind and the game intelligence to know when to do that and be that confident in your own technical ability as a centre-back. It's remarkable stuff. It's remarkable stuff. Like John Stones right now, is playing at a level of higher than any centre-back in world football simply because he's one of the best defenders, but also playing as an attacking midfielder at the same time. It's just stupid. John Stones is, in my opinion, one of the greatest examples of Guardiola's brilliance. Stones, of course, deserves it with his own hard work, but this is what, an envision of a... Like, who else would have turned John Stones into this? No one. No one else would have done this with John Stones. No one. Guardiola did it. And I think when people talk about Man City being boring, like I don't understand how you can be a football fan and not appreciate like that. Like it's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. It's ridiculous stuff. But that is the reality we're living right now as City fans. We're seeing ridiculous stuff every single day. And I actually do want to talk about Ederson. Charlie just mentioned him in the chat. Ederson, yeah, I agree. Ederson deserves his prop right now. He's at his peak, and he has been for some time, and I think it's fair to say Stefan Ortega maybe kind of shook him out of a little bit of a slumber, got him going, because Ederson is a quality keeper, but he could maybe unintentionally complacent. Complacent's a harsh word, because it implies that he's just switched off and didn't care. No, I think people become complacent unintentionally. Like, you do need a challenge in life. Everyone needs a challenge. You need competition, and he's got that now. And what we've got here is... We've got a brilliant, absolutely brilliant keeper currently reveling in his quality. There was a segment last night on Match of the Day talking about Ederson, and I love that Ederson actually gets those props because I think he's normalised his own ability. There was a few times where he bypassed about 6-7 United players with these perfect 40-50 yard passes that, you'd expect. The kind of stuff, and I mean this seriously, that Paul Scholes used to do for United, and everyone would absolutely purr over. Rightfully so, because they're great passes. Ederson does that every single game as a goalkeeper. And then still made some massive saves as well from Man City. Right now, he's playing brilliant. I mean, he's up there with Ederson, in my opinion, as the best keeper in the world. I mean, Ederson, I think, is phenomenal, by the way. I have to give Ederson the credit. I think he's a remarkable keeper. Brazil are very lucky to have the pair of him. But what I do know is Ederson is he's easily the best keeper in the world with the ball at his feet. And right now, he's reached a level where he's going to be Manchester City's greatest ever goalkeeper. He is, because no one else could do what Ederson does in this Manchester City side. And I think that's why Guardiola loves him. Right now, his concentration levels are fantastic. His focus, his brilliance, just wonderful. Just a phenomenal footballer, and I can't believe we get to watch him. He's Brazilian, he only costs 30 million. We think he's brilliant. He's Ederson. Get the chant going again, guys. Big game, Grealish. Look, I hate to call City fans out, but I see it every single time I discuss Jack Grealish in a match preview, and I say I think Guardiola's going to play him. Every single time I say anything vaguely positive about Jack Grealish, I get people in the chat going, Grealish is naff. You don't know nothing about football, Stephen. All the time. I get it all the time. All the time. Where's your apologies? You know what I mean? Someone said there was no chance we could win with Grealish playing this game. Mark my words, someone said. I was like, your words are worth zero, mate. Like, Jack Grealish was excellent yesterday. Absolutely fantastic. And I agree, he actually started a little bit slowly. He did start a little bit slowly. But he wasn't... Singing makes you uncomfortable. Why do it? No, it doesn't, mate. It absolutely doesn't. I was in a band professionally for years, mate. I sang on stage in front of thousands of people, so singing does not make me uncomfortable. So I don't know where you got that from, mate. In fact, I sing everything. Ask my wife or my friends. I walk around singing pretty much all the time. So, and I love singing. I absolutely love it. Music is my life. I've got a guitar right there. I've got 2 cushions there. Literally my favourite albums. So don't even worry about that, Paul Harrington. Anyway, Grealish, that was someone in the chat saying singing makes me uncomfortable, which I just don't understand, which is a strange comment. Grealish, yeah, brilliant. I mean, I think it's fair to say he did have a slow start to the season, but I always maintain everyone is entitled to a slow start to the season if their intentions are good. Form takes a while to get going, you know? It does. Like, it's not easy to come back and be brilliant always, and I think we have unrealistic expectations about every footballer. In an ideal world, great, yeah. It's one of those things where you want a player to come back and be fantastic, but not everyone's the same, you know. I think Jack Grealish is a rhythm player. He takes a while to get going, you know. He needs to get back on the bike again and ride around to find his confidence a little bit. And I think Jack Grealish, that's who he is as a person. And I think you can see that and accept it. Maybe he was just sobering up after last summer's treble celebrations. I don't know, but I think the injury obviously is a number in him. Slow start to the season, and I think obviously all the noise around Doku. People forgot just how good Jack Grealish was last season towards the end running. A big part of our treble winning side, and I thought Jack Grealish absolutely benefited yesterday from Bernardo Silva, by the way. Bernardo overlapping him. Look, Bernardo did what someone should have been doing for a long time for Man City. Grealish is not a great one-on-one winger. I've said this 1,000 times. I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean, he's not a dribbler in the way Doku is, or even Sterling was, or Sane was. He's a very different kind of player. He's a wide midfielder, which is a very different take. And he needs people around him to link up with him to be effective. Because then you see his full range of passing ability. And his weight of passes is exceptional. His choice of pass, his hard work. His creativity when people are around him is great. But he can't be the guy that just isolates a fullback and beats them. It'd be great if he could, but it's just not who he is. Give him space, though. Like, have people buzzing around him, and he's way more confident. And that's what we saw yesterday. And I love Doku, by the way. And Doku will absolutely find his niche in this Manchester City side. And he has done, but there's nothing wrong with having horses for courses. Big game Grealish, but do you know what? If we're playing Fulham at home, who do I want, Grealish or Doku? I probably want Doku because we've got a lot of the ball. They'll have 10 people behind the ball. Have Doku. If we're playing United or whatever, and you need control and a little bit of character, I'd probably have Jack Grealish. It's great because it's just very different, but I love it. I absolutely love it. A couple of super chats. Piffed with a super chat saying, never doubted Grealish once, not even during his first season. People need to see him as a cog in an amazing team, not someone who's going to carry you through games, but someone who helps others do it. And I know that sounds like people will go, well, he's 100 million, he should be. Do you know what? Yeah, I get that to an argument to an extent, but, I would argue, Arsenal have spent 100 million on Declan Rice, and as great as he is, he's still a cog in a machine. Declan Rice is not going to win Arsenal games on his own, is he? No, that's what you get Saka for, and Martinelli, and and their attacking players, like even Odegaard to an extent, and it's very different. But I know Grealish is a winger, has different expectations, but you can't deny that he was a big part of the all-consuming control and power of a treble-winning side, and that's a fact of it. It absolutely is a fact, and you think you're spot on, Piff. I also love this comment from William Dittmer, mate. William, thank you so much for the super chat as well. It says, the way Doku came on and ran rings maybe around Anthony and made United players lose their shit, made it even more sweet. Come on, City. Honestly, they showed their true colours. If my captain was acting as petulant as Bruno Fernandes, I'd be fuming. Fernandes just lashing out, moaning and whining. He sets the tone for that United side. And he was embarrassing when they went behind. Doku had him kicking the invisible man, and it was so sweet. Doku had Anthony showing... Well, there's been stuff around Anthony about his about going on, and Anthony lost his temper very easily yesterday. It doesn't look good, mate. It doesn't look good at all. Anthony, a terrible winger. Doku, a great winger. And Doku's composure, just to do that in his face after he got kicked. It should have been a red card, by the way. Remarkable stuff, and I love it. I absolutely do love it. Thank you so much, super chats, William and Piffed as well. And things are looking good. They're looking really good. They really are, guys, and I'm buzzing. Absolutely. Declan did a nice assist this weekend. Maybe he did, yeah. Fair play to him, he got a good assist. But you know what I'm getting at? Like, DMs aren't really the guy who drag you to a game usually, unless you're Rodri. But it's not a criticism at Doku. But I guess the point I'm trying to make is a £100 million player could probably be more of a function, more of a team player than a superstar. And that's in 2023, that's probably normal. Enzo Fernandez is a good example as well, It is what it is. Grealish does not lose the ball exactly, Olympics. You're right in the chat. And it makes him perfect for Manchester City. Yeah, I love it. I love it. And everything about this Manchester City side right now, it's just so much fun to watch. So much fun to watch. Obviously, Bernardo is truly special. That's the first thing I want to talk about. And it's remarkable to watch him in full flight. Josko Gvardiol, after a sloppy start, became excellent. We've got another John Stones, another Rodri potentially. This quality, this brilliant understanding of the space around him and that burst of pace, that strength, that technicability, that left foot, wonderful. Stones total football right now. He really is. I mean, look at once again, that's his touch map. Stupid. Stop it, John Stones. Don't stop it. Of course, as well, Ederson's playing fantastic, and Jack Grealish is flying. Guys, they're the 5 things I want to talk about. Thank you so much to the super chats from Pift, William Dittmer, and my man Bastian Hausman. Thank you so much, guys. It is appreciated. If you want some more City content, I did a match reaction yesterday. For whatever reason, YouTube wasn't really working well yesterday. It wasn't just me. Loads of channels had the same problem where it wasn't sharing live content. I don't know why it did it, but it did it that way. So if I were you, head over to my channel now. Please go watch that City Destroy United video. Got some Burton in there. Go and watch that. And, of course, you want to watch my reaction from the watch long. Give that a go. And, of course, the 5 things later, if you want to give it a go as well, why not? Give that a go. And thank you very much for watching, everyone. I enjoy Martin saying just joining for the intro music, which is Zelda. Zelda and Chill it is. Likewise, the outro music is Zelda and Chill, which you're about to hear in a second as well. You're all superstars. Love you loads. City are miles better than United. Manchester is blue. Come on, you Blues. In a bit, like, subscribe. Bye-bye.